Today's supposed to be a day that we are mourning and remembering senseless violence. 24 years ago, hundreds upon hundreds of people were victims of senseless violence. Hundreds of first responders were victims of senseless violence. Today's supposed to be a day that we, as the first responder community, come together both to remember these people and to condemn senseless violence. And yet, we have people who last night were reveling in senseless violence. What happened yesterday wasn't awful because of who the person was. What happened yesterday was awful because that's not okay, period. When 9/11 happened, none of us asked any questions about what the political beliefs or ethical, moral standings were of anyone, either first responder or not, who was a victim that day. We never asked that question. And we shouldn't, because it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. We are supposed to be spending today standing against this. We are an apolitical entity. We are the people that take care of everyone, no matter what your belief is, what you have done, whether you're a criminal or not. None of that matters. I can't tell you the horrible people that I've had to treat over the years. We all have. But that doesn't matter. Because our duty as first responders is to preserve life, to respect it, to stand against this, because we have seen so much of it. I have seen more deceased people than most folks could shake a stick at. And I have seen so many violently deceased people. This is never anything that we should be laughing at. This is never anything that we should be gloating about. I'm pretty confident that if a lot of people had social media back 24 years ago, we'd be dealing with a lot of this same kind of reprehensible behavior. And I think that we have gotten so disconnected from our humanity through our screens. As a community, this is a bad, bad, bad day for us. We have no business reveling in senseless violence. We have no business. And we all have a right to free speech, but that doesn't absolve us from being decent human beings. Just because we don't agree with people doesn't mean that we should be endorsing violence towards them. That's part of who we are as a country. We're supposed to be different. And we as first responders are supposed to be protecting those differences. We're supposed to be protecting everyone. That is our job. Whether you're a firefighter, whether you're a cop, whether you're a paramedic or an EMT, our job is to take care of the public, to suspend our beliefs on things sometimes in defense of that duty. So not only is it just despicable on a human level, but it is absolutely abhorrent as professionals for any of us to be saying some of the things that I have seen posted in the last, not even 24 hours, last 12 hours. Absolutely appalling. I can't fathom it. I can't wrap my head around that. This isn't about politics. This isn't about who hates who sleeps with who looks like who, what color skin you have, or any of that stuff, what your religion is. We're human beings. Senseless violence is never okay, should never be condoned, should never be celebrated. When I was a kid, not only did I witness 9/11, and on that day, my brother's best friend and that friend's sister were on the subway in New York, about a block or two from where the towers were struck when they were struck. And also, the father of one of my childhood best friends worked at the Pentagon. So not only did all of that hit close to home, I also grew up with the DC sniper in my backyard. As a child, I had to deal with the fact that someone could potentially shoot me or my family while we were pumping gas or at a restaurant. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right then, and it's not right now that people should live in fear of that. 24 years ago, we came together to fight back against senseless violence. Yet here we are, many of us who were children back then, who are now celebrating random senseless violence. I don't know how you sleep at night. I don't understand what kind of a world can be lived in where that kind of response to current events is okay. I don't understand it. And I'm someone who's very numb to that sort of thing. I don't understand it. I pity you. I do. I don't hate you. I can't imagine what that kind of life is like. If that isn't a symptom of something that is deeply wrong, I don't know what is. And not to mention, yesterday, a man being put down in front of his wife and kids. That's heartbreaking no matter who it is. It has nothing to do with the exact name of the person. That is horrible. That is beyond horrible. Those children will be traumatized for the rest of their life. And if you've never had to look into the eyes of a child and explain to them that their father is no longer alive, then I can understand why you could be so heartless about this. But I'll wager that most of us have had to experience that. I had a call years ago where a small child, and we're talking, I believe, under the age of 10, had to perform CPR on her father. And that child was so strong and was so resilient that even now, that's the kind of shit that you don't forget. I hope that that moves you in some way. I hope that we rethink how we handle situations like this, because I don't have words. I don't. I pity those children. I pity his wife, because dealing with that loss, trying to be there for your children, and then seeing some of the hateful things that other first responders are publishing, I can't imagine. And I don't care who you are. It could be the most atrocious person. That's still not right. That's still not fair. So today, while we are remembering what happened 24 years ago, let's have pity on what's happened the last 24 hours.